Imagine a vast and desolate battlefield stretching out before you. The terrain is uncertain, perhaps littered with hidden mines, razor wire, and other deadly obstacles meant to slow or halt an advancing force. Now picture a mighty machine rolling steadily across the broken ground, its thick armor plating bristling with power and resilience, its specialized equipment methodically clearing a path of safety. This unstoppable vehicle is the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle, often referred to simply as the ABV. Built on the chassis of the revered M1 Abrams main battle tank, the ABV's mission is both specialized and critical. It ensures that even the most treacherous terrain can be rapidly cleared of mines and other threats, allowing friendly forces to advance swiftly and securely. Welcome to our in-depth look at this ultimate battlefield bulldozer, how it was conceived, how it works, and the extraordinary capabilities that allow it to shape modern warfare. In order to truly appreciate what the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle brings to the battlefield, it's important to understand just how essential the task of minefield clearance has become. Mines, improvised explosive devices, barbed wire, and other forms of man-made obstacles have existed for as long as warfare itself. Armies throughout history have relied on these obstructions to delay or disrupt an enemy force, imposing a high cost in both time and casualties. Even the mightiest armies equipped with modern tanks and advanced artillery can be rendered powerless against properly laid minefields if they lack the right tools to deal with them. Speed is everything in combat, and even a brief moment of hesitation can open up vulnerabilities. As military technology has become more lethal, the importance of specialized breaching equipment has only grown. That's why the development of a heavily armored vehicle specifically designed to breach these obstacles was a game changer for ground forces. The United States Marine Corps and the U.S. Army were keen to adapt a proven and formidable platform to fulfill this need. The M1 Abrams had already earned a fearsome reputation as one of the world's premier main battle tanks, sporting advanced composite armor, high mobility, and tremendous firepower. Transforming it into a dedicated breaching system meant that rather than cobbling together improvised or lightly armored engineering vehicles, the military could rely on a thoroughly tested chassis with proven battlefield survivability. By adding specialized mine-clearing implements, rocket-propelled line charges, and other advanced systems, the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle was born, a perfect marriage of the Abrams' robust design and the U.S. military's engineering expertise. Before we move on, I'd like to take a moment to welcome you all to our channel. If you're enjoying this deep dive into cutting-edge military equipment and want to continue exploring the incredible feats of modern engineering, be sure to subscribe. Subscribing is completely free, and it helps you stay up to date on all our new content. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if this topic piques your interest. Your likes let us know what kind of content you want more of, and your comments help spark great discussions. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle, or any other platforms you'd like us to cover. Now let's continue our journey into the world of battlefield breaching and obstacle clearance. As we delve deeper into the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle, let's rewind for a moment and talk about the historical precedent that led to its development. The concept of combat engineering and the need for specialized vehicles date back centuries, if not millennia. Whenever armies confronted barriers that standard fighting units couldn't easily bypass, they turned to specialists with the tools and know-how to eliminate or mitigate those obstacles. In the 20th century, with the advent of mechanized warfare during World War I, the need for combined arms operations became increasingly clear. Tanks could break through enemy lines, but they themselves were vulnerable to specific types of obstacles. By World War II, most armies recognized the value of specialized armor. Think of the famous Hobart's funnies, used by the British during the Normandy invasion in 1944. These were modified tanks equipped to lay bridges, clear mines, or destroy fortifications. This tradition continued through the Cold War, where potential large-scale engagements in Europe prompted both NATO and Warsaw Pact forces to develop robust methods for breaching elaborate defensive lines. The U.S. Marine Corps, in particular, had an interest in amphibious operations, where rapid breach of beach obstacles could make or break an entire assault. Over time, the recognition grew that clearing large minefields and obstacles couldn't be left to chance or improvised vehicles. A purpose-built, heavily protected platform would be required. It was in this context that the M1 Abrams chassis was eventually selected as the basis for the U.S. military's assault breacher concept, culminating in the creation of the M1150. Now let's move on to some of the vehicle specifics. The M1150 is often described as the ultimate battlefield bulldozer, and for good reason. One of its most prominent features is the full-width mine plow. Essentially, this is a massive blade assembly mounted to the front of the vehicle, designed to penetrate the soil and push aside buried mines, clearing a safe path for following vehicles. Unlike a traditional bulldozer blade, however, this mine plow isn't just for shoving dirt around. It's specifically shaped and reinforced to ensure that buried mines will either be dislodged and moved to the side or detonated harmlessly away from the vehicle's main body. Because the ABV is built on the Abrams chassis, it has the horsepower and torque needed to drive such a heavy assembly through difficult terrain without bogging down. Another critical aspect of the M1150's mine-clearing prowess is the mine-clearing line charge system, often referred to as the MICLIC. The MICLIC is essentially a rocket-propelled explosive line that the ABV can fire out in front of itself across a suspected minefield. Once it lands, the line of explosives is detonated, triggering or destroying mines over a certain width and depth. This method is particularly effective against both conventional and improvised mines, as the shockwave and explosive force cause buried munitions to detonate before the ABV or friendly forces even roll across them. The vehicle can carry multiple line charges, allowing it to clear several lanes in quick succession or deal with particularly dense minefields. To round out its specialized equipment, the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle is also equipped with a lane marking system. As it clears a path, it can automatically place markers along the edges of the safe corridor, ensuring that following vehicles and infantry know exactly which route is mine-free. This may seem like a small detail, but clarity on a chaotic battlefield can make the difference between life and death. The lane marking system reduces the chance of friendly forces accidentally drifting off the cleared path and into a mine-laden area. Taken together, the plow, the line charges, and the lane marking system, the M1150 provides a comprehensive solution to the age-old problem of how to get past lethal obstacles in a hurry. Of course, having these specialized systems would be of little value if the vehicle itself couldn't survive on the front lines. This is where the M1150's roots in the M1 Abrams are most valuable. The Abrams family of tanks has long been praised for its thick composite armor and advanced defensive systems, giving it a remarkable degree of survivability against a wide range of threats. While the ABV might not carry a turret and main gun, it does carry a .50 caliber machine gun for self-defense, and it can also be outfitted with additional protective measures as needed. The robust engine, transmission, and suspension of the Abrams ensure that the M1150 can move rapidly across broken terrain, keep up with main battle tanks, and operate effectively under the same grueling combat conditions. It's worth considering, too, the psychological impact of a vehicle like the M1150 Assault Breacher. Soldiers and Marines advancing into hostile territory find enormous reassurance in knowing they have a vehicle that can handle whatever obstacles lie ahead. The ability to maintain momentum is crucial. Each minute spent stalled in front of a minefield or entanglement is a minute that can be exploited by enemy forces. With a heavy breaching vehicle leading the charge, troops can retain the initiative. On the flip side, adversaries face the sobering realization that the minefields they've spent weeks or months laying might be cleared in a matter of minutes. This can undermine an enemy's defensive posture and force them to adopt riskier tactics. But all this is just scratching the surface of the ABV's capabilities and the depth of engineering that went into its development. If you enjoy this kind of content and want to dive deeper into the fascinating world of military engineering vehicles, remember to subscribe, leave a like, and comment below. We're always eager to bring you more deep dives on military technology, from modern tank development to the future of unmanned platforms. Your engagement helps us continue creating detailed content like this, so thank you in advance for your support. Now let's keep going with an even closer look at the M1150. To understand the assault breacher vehicle's role, it's also helpful to compare it to the other engineering assets in a modern military. Generally, armies have a wide range of engineering vehicles in their arsenal: lightly armored bulldozers, bridging equipment, heavy excavators, and so forth. Each piece has a specialized role, such as digging trenches, building fortifications, or setting up temporary crossings over rivers and canals. However, most of these engineering assets can't afford to operate at the front line in the midst of incoming fire due to their lack of armor and their slower mobility. They're usually brought forward after an area is secured, or they're operated under heavy protection provided by tanks and infantry. The M1150, by contrast, was envisioned from the start as a frontline vehicle that could operate under direct threat. Its function is so vital that it essentially leads the way for other units, clearing the path not only through minefields, but also through certain kinds of wire entanglements or smaller obstacles. Once the ABV has made a breach, more conventional engineering vehicles can come in to widen or reinforce the cleared routes if needed. By that time, friendly forces have already passed through the obstacle, seizing territory and maintaining the momentum of the offensive. One interesting aspect of using the M1 chassis is that it simplifies logistical support. Because it shares so many components with the standard M1 Abrams units that already support the Abrams, don't need an entirely separate supply chain. This is a significant advantage in terms of maintenance and repair. Crews familiar with the Abrams also find it much easier to transition to operating and maintaining the ABV. This results in reduced downtime and improved operational readiness when the ABV is deployed alongside regular armored forces. When it comes to operational history, the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle has been put to the test in real-world conflicts, albeit in relatively limited numbers compared to the standard Abrams. Reports from U.S. Marine Corps operations in Afghanistan, for instance, highlighted the vehicle's utility in clearing IED-laden roads. In the complex and ever-shifting environment of modern warfare, the ABV's ability to deploy line charges, plow through dangerous terrain, and mark cleared lanes provided a huge advantage. The confidence it inspired allowed infantry and other armored vehicles to maneuver more freely, reducing the risk of casualties from hidden explosives. To operate the ABV effectively, crews undergo specialized training that goes beyond what's required for a standard tank or engineering vehicle. They must learn to deploy the line charges accurately, operate the plow assembly in a variety of soil conditions, and coordinate closely with other elements of the force, such as infantry, sappers on foot, and fellow tank crews. Communication is critical because the ABV is at its most effective when it's integrated into a larger plan that involves suppressing enemy fire, securing flanks, and making sure the newly created lane is swiftly exploited. This coordination ensures that once the obstacle is breached, the momentum of the operation isn't lost. There are also interesting technical challenges inherent in mounting such a heavy plow assembly on the front of a vehicle that was originally designed to carry a turret. Balancing weight distribution is crucial, as well as ensuring that the ABV retains enough ground clearance and traction to operate in rough environments. The result is a heavily customized front end that ties securely into the Abrams hull, with reinforced mounting points and hydraulic systems to raise or lower the plow when necessary. The designers had to account for how the massive torque demands of the plow would interact with the hull structure during operation, especially under the strain of pushing through thick mud or debris. Another notable feature is the protective kit that often accompanies the ABV for operation in high-threat environments. This may include additional armor packages, reactive armor tiles, or even active protection systems designed to intercept incoming anti-tank rockets or missiles. While the ABV is not intended to go head-to-head with enemy main battle tanks, it must still withstand small arms, artillery fragments, roadside bombs, and other hazards. Considering the nature of its mission, the vehicle's survivability has to be top-notch. The Abrams lineage ensures that on this score, the M1150 is second to none. The question often arises, how fast can the ABV actually move, given all this extra equipment? You might be surprised to learn that it can still reach impressive speeds comparable to the original M1, though operationally, it usually travels slower when employing its breaching tools. The Abrams gas turbine engine, which produces around 1,500 horsepower, provides ample power. Even when pushing a full-width mine plow or carrying multiple line charges, the ABV maintains more than enough thrust to traverse difficult terrain. Its speed, combined with its armor, means it can keep pace with armor columns and ensure minimal delay when crossing obstacles. In some scenarios, The ABV can even launch multiple line charges in rapid succession, quickly clearing multiple lanes or creating a wider path if needed. Although each line charge is a one-time use, the quick reloading capability means the ABV can sustain breaching operations over a large area. This is especially important if the enemy has laid multiple belts of mines, which is a common tactic to trap forces after they breach the first mine belt. Being able to respond and clear subsequent obstacles in short order preserves the offensive momentum. Modern military doctrine frequently emphasizes speed and continuous pressure on the enemy, and the ABV is a powerful tool to help maintain that pressure. Of course, like any major military platform, the ABV also comes with its share of challenges and criticisms. One such challenge is cost. Building and maintaining an advanced machine that combines the M1 Abrams chassis with specialized breaching gear can be expensive. Despite the logistical advantages of using a well-known chassis, the ABV's additional systems and limited production numbers can drive up the per-unit cost. Furthermore, while it's highly effective for its intended role, the ABV is somewhat of a niche capability. In conflicts where mines or obstacles are less prevalent, or where engineering assets are not required at the front line, its specialized equipment might be underutilized. Yet for modern forces that face uncertain and evolving threats, the cost is often justified by the ABV's utility and the lives it saves. There's also the matter of potential future upgrades. As technology evolves, so does the nature of modern warfare. We're already seeing a trend toward unmanned and remotely operated vehicles. Could the ABV eventually be adapted into a remote control or autonomous breaching system? It's certainly possible. Imagine an ABV clearing a minefield without a crew on board, drastically reducing the risk to human life. The core systems could, in theory, be operated or monitored remotely, especially as sensor and communication technologies advance. However, for the time being, the ABV relies on a well-trained crew to operate effectively, coordinating with other units for maximum effect. Despite any questions about future technologies, it's clear that the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle has cemented its place as an indispensable asset for modern ground forces that need to overcome formidable defenses in a hurry. The ability to neutralize wide swaths of landmines and IEDs, carve lanes through dense obstacles, and mark a secure path is a critical force multiplier. Whether it's leading the way into a heavily defended enemy stronghold, ensuring a safe approach for humanitarian operations in a mine-contaminated region, or providing support in unexpected crisis situations, the ABV's versatility and raw power speak for themselves. The men and women who serve in armored engineering units know all too well the difference a vehicle like the ABV makes. Where once an entire operation might be forced to wait for an improvised solution or specialized sappers operating on foot, the ABV provides a rapid and heavily protected alternative. It's a visible symbol that no obstacle is too great and that forward momentum will be maintained. The psychological comfort this brings to Allied forces is mirrored by the sense of dread it can instill in opponents. While some might see the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle as just another piece of military hardware, it's so much more than that. It represents decades of lessons learned about how to protect crews, how to exploit the advantages of tank-based chassis, and how to integrate advanced breaching technologies that save lives on the battlefield. War, by its nature, is destructive and dangerous, but the ABV is a testament to the idea that through innovation and engineering, we can at least mitigate certain threats. Clearing mines not only aids in advance, it helps pave the way for humanitarian and reconstruction efforts once the fighting is stopped. There's an inherent fascination in seeing how militaries adapt their technology to solve age-old problems. The M1150 is a prime example of that adaptation, taking an already proven platform like the M1 Abrams and reimagining it into a new role without sacrificing the fundamental qualities that made the Abrams so successful in the first place. The synergy of the full-width mine plow, the rocket-propelled line charges, and the lane marking system isn't just about brute force. It's about combining different technologies to tackle a multitude of dangerous scenarios in a manner that is efficient, protected, and coordinated. For anyone interested in the future of combat engineering, the ABV also serves as a preview of where things might be headed. Emerging sensors, drones, and remote capabilities will likely further enhance the ability of a platform like the ABV to detect and clear mines before they pose a threat. The ultimate goal is to ensure that forces never again have to halt their advance at the site of a barbed wire entanglement or a suspected minefield. With each iteration of breaching technology, militaries are inching closer to that objective, and the M1150 is at the forefront of this crucial mission. As we come to the end of this deep dive, I want to thank you for sticking with us and exploring the remarkable capabilities of the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle. We hope this extended look has helped illuminate just how significant this vehicle is for modern armies. The ABV is a testament to human ingenuity, representing thousands of hours of research, development, and testing, all to solve a critical, life-threatening problem on the battlefield. It underscores the vital role combat engineers play in modern warfare and reveals how one highly specialized platform can change the calculus of an operation. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing to our channel. Staying subscribed ensures you won't miss future episodes where we'll be discussing even more advanced military technologies, historical battle strategies, and the evolving nature of warfare. Also, give the video a thumbs up if you learned something new today. We greatly appreciate your support as it motivates us to keep creating in-depth content that caters to your interests. And don't forget, if you have any questions or insights about the M1150 Assault Breacher Vehicle, or if there are other vehicles or topics you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comments. Your feedback and engagement are what make this community so vibrant and knowledgeable. See you in the next video.